It's time to enter in to Wednesday of Holy Week, also known as Spy Wednesday. Today's a day in which many calculations are made, fine-tuning. The game is at hand. We're getting close to the end of the week. Once things are set into motion tomorrow, there's no turning back. And Jesus has to know that everything is prepared, everything is ready. In fact, he makes some calculations today that he doesn't entrust to anyone else. At this point of the week, most teams have a director of operations who take care of the details so that everybody else on the team can focus. Well, there's a surprise for the entire team that they're going to encounter tomorrow at the pregame meal, one like they've never had before. Jesus can't entrust these details to anyone else because they have to be perfect. They have to be precise. They have to be prepared in the proper way. We only learn about these details tomorrow. We hear that Jesus sends his assistants, Peter and John, back into the city. And he tells them, go prepare the Passover meal. And they say, well, where are we going to do that? We're foreigners here. We're not from the city. And Jesus says, oh, well, I've prepared. When you go into the city, you're going to see a man carrying a jar of water. He knows who you are. When you see him, you just follow him. He's going to take you into a house. When you enter into that house, you're going to meet a man who's the master of the house. And you say to the master of the house, where have you prepared for the teacher to serve the Passover meal to his disciples? He'll take you to the room. We know that Jesus today, I imagine him conspiring with these secret disciples in Jerusalem, those who are willing to be on his team, those who are working for him, those who want to share in his victory, and they offer him a place. We also know that the enemy, his opponent, is also conspiring, is also figuring out all the final details. Judas is a mole. Judas is the double agent who's on the inside. And while Jesus is conspiring for victory, Judas is making backdoor deals in back alleyways with the chief priests, the Sanhedrin, those who lead the temple. And in that, Judas conspires to give Jesus over with 30 pieces of silver. What was going on in Jesus' mind at that time? Jesus knew. Jesus knew what was going on with Judas. He knew that he was pulling away. I imagine that this time, just like any great team player, any great coach, at this time when we know that we have a game to play, Jesus' mind was ready. No matter what, no matter all the distractions that are going on in the city, no matter what distractions, no matter what the enemy is doing, no matter what the opponent is doing, Jesus is getting his mind right today. And that's what you and I need to do. No matter the distractions of our life, this week is paramount. We want to share in Jesus' victory. We want to enter in with him. We have to get our mind right. I imagine Jesus' mind was right. He was ready. At the very same time, he was very human. He wasn't unaffected by what happened. I imagine him, and I can't think of this scene without imagining Psalm 55. Psalm 55 says, if an enemy would have done this, I could bear it. But from you, an intimate friend, someone who I walked with, someone who I ate with, someone who I shared life with, I can't bear it. I can only imagine Jesus' sorrow, the sorrow in his heart, that one of his best friends is going astray. But Jesus loved Judas. We know that. He loved him to the end. Jesus died for Judas. Jesus wanted Judas to stay on the team. Judas would make his own decisions. You and I have decisions to make this week. You and I, when the pressure mounts, we have to keep our mind focused. We have to stay in the game. We have to keep our minds right. There's still going to be changes of sides throughout this entire story. It's up for you and I to stay right, to stay with Jesus, to console his heart. He knew from all eternity, he came for people who betrayed him. He came and he knew that they would betray him to the bitter end, and he endured it. Well, you and I have a charge this week to be faithful. Let's console the heart of Jesus by staying in the game, by remaining faithful, by turning all of our betrayals into new faithfulness. Tomorrow, we're going to see his glory. He's going to win the victory, and we remain on the team.